Absolutely. Hey guys. Yeah, it's always been like either it's before lunch or after lunch for me, and yeah, it's after lunch this time. One fine morning, yeah, I'm just a normal engineering graduate who started my career as doing testing and coding. It's been a while since I was doing it. But security was kind of booming up at point of time where people were talking about, I'm a very movie influenced person. Got pretty, you know, very interested when impressed with Tom Cruise hacking and other bunch of American guys doing like, oh, they were hacking stuff. So I got very motivated and I wanted to be one. And when I was a kid, I always wanted to be either a He-Man or a Batman, so which was not at all possible. But what happened was I was doing this normal gig every day of testing, development, and typical IT stories. One fine day, I realized that security's got a huge potential. And this Indiana Jones, how many of you watched this Indiana Jones? What does Indiana Jones do? Explore, right? Fight the bad guys, explore, and go for an artifact. For the people who don't know Indiana Jones is like a character, a fictional character where he hunts for the hidden artifacts and a lot of stuff. So I figured out that, okay, Indiana Jones is a pretty interesting stuff. He goes behind a lot of things. I realized being a security researcher was my goal. I thought that security research is my interest. But my daily bread is basically testing and development. I cannot do that. So what do we do? Be the researcher, be like Indiana Jones. Look for clues. Gather all material while you work a day and do your day work too. Because if you have to reach a goal, it takes a while to do it. You cannot be a superstar in just one day, right? So I figured that out. So I started collecting a lot of info, started reading a lot of stuff. And then I was pretty confident I was doing an Indiana Jones act. Well, what happens in the night? How many of you are Batman fans here? Oh, yeah, see hands. Yeah, good. Okay. So Batman has got all these cool gadgets. That's my second inspiration. The cool gadgets and a lot of stuff. Fights the bad guys. And I actually like the fact that he pretty much operates at night. Well, that was actually an excuse and a reason because I didn't find time to do these things during the day. Even I started doing like this. So I started doing the day job, collecting info, and then when the night kicked in, I became like verifying all the info that I collected. So I was able to understand what security vulnerabilities are, what hacks were, what attacks were. So I got a basic idea of how these things work. The bottom line is, I'm neither Indiana Jones nor the Batman, right? I'm neither of these. Then I figured out, how cool is a researcher to be? Like, yeah, it's like the suit, yeah, that he wears. It's so cool, right? Being like James Bond, get the Bond car and all of gadgets, and you come in, it's like, I'm Bond, James Bond. Yeah, I'm a researcher, security researcher. Yeah, I sounded cool. Now comes the reality. Stepped into this field. And people started actually at least believing that I'm a security researcher or an ethical hacker. When the doors opened, I see a lot of these things a lot of things as a researcher you'd have to look. There were a lot of attacks happening in various forms of the computer, be it your computer, your operating system, your data gets stolen, your mails get compromised, phishing, your Facebook passwords. Then I figured out that you need something to divide these crimes before you analyze these. So I started taking this task of thinking how crimes can actually be divided. I figured out there are basically only 4 or 5 genres of crimes. Okay, this is not my own ideology, but it's all from movies again, okay? Joker says in Batman, never do something, if you're good at something, never do it for free, right? Then I figured out that crimes are like 4 genres. 1, people want you to get scared. Play with your emotions, first of all. So they try to commit crime for that. 2, there are a lot of people who really want to do crime because they're just bored. Yeah, that's true. 3, I found out something was like paid crime. People were paid to commit crimes, like people were paid to steal your passwords. And the 4th one is, sometimes there's no logic for crimes. Okay? These were the 4 genres of things I figured out. Then I started digging one by one. The Sherlock Holmes quote came to my mind. Crime is common. Then I found out a lot of these attacks that happen today in computers world Crime is common, but the logic is rare. Only very few crimes you'll be able to find logic. Okay, then I found out common parts of it. Scams were very, very common. The left one that you see is a day-to-day activity. We live in a world of technology. Everybody has got a smartphone. Everybody's got computers, tablets, everything. So when this landscape, the threat landscape, kind of increases because your technology broadens. You're happy with your technology? Yes, you should. Piracy and privacy is what you pay as a price for it. We have to bear it. The left one is a very common scenario where they send you an email that looks like an iTunes receipt, okay? It comes to your email one fine day. So the coincidence matters. You have an iPhone, you get a receipt that says, I cannot name the game maybe. Okay, you download a famous game app and it says $4 swiped in your card for this game. And you're all smart, right? We have three-factor authentication that when you swipe a card, you get an SMS and you're pretty confident that I only swiped it. Well, in this case, you didn't get a swipe. And you're pretty confident that you didn't make this purchase. Now you immediately go and click saying, I did not make this purchase. Yes or no? How many of you do it? Raise hands. I don't see hands. I see hands. Yeah, good. Okay. So when you do that, that's where you get attacked. Even if you don't click it or you click it, you kind of get attacked here because they are playing with your emotions. The right one is a very common thing. How many of you got these type of emails saying that your Outlook is expired, please click? Anybody here? Okay, got it, okay. So this is again the same thing because we live in a world where we are like very, 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 very in a rush lane. We suddenly see this and said, oh yeah, this might be the email ID where I clicked when I was in class 6 or 5. Somebody's misusing it, let me update it. You're trapped, you're doomed. Common scams. Okay. Campaigns, seasons, and time attacks. Okay. Dude, you just dropped your wallet. Can you see I see your wallet down. You, on the front row. You dropped your, yeah, this is called dealing with emotions. Okay. I just got him panicked now. So basically the first time, generally the trick works on the first time. So he didn't do it. So like 2 or 3 times I stressed it and he thought that, okay, he trusts the speaker who speaks here and he trusts my action. So he just looked for the wallet. Getting into someone's computer does not require the computer itself, but his emotion. Okay? We are all very emotional people at times, right? We feel sad for somebody's post and try to click donate or click on it, share it. That's what happens. Hacking and these crimes basically happen based on emotions. That's why I put it as campaigns, season, and time targets. What are these campaigns basically? How many of you buy online products here? Oh, guys, you're all in a major soup. Nice. Okay. Okay. The main root of this problem is this, okay? All these people, we think criminals are just doing things at the back of their hand, or no, they know how the whole market functions. It's like buying on a sale. If it's 50% sale, how many of us buy? Everybody buys, right? Okay, leave that. Buy one, get 3 free. How many of you will buy? Well, I will buy, yeah. Okay. That's the problem where the problem arises. It's like when there are 10 legit emails and then there's one email that says free offer. It looks really like your legit email, but it's not. That's where you get your passwords or your credentials stolen. How many of you, so the picture that says is zooming inside a domain name. What's a domain name? We all live in a domain name world, right? www.google.com. Every transaction in the internet that we do today is based on domain names, correct? Right from your flight bookings, to your train bookings, even they sell medicines online, right? Movie tickets. Every transaction involves domain names. Apart from that, social networking, everything is done through these domain names too. So this domain name becomes the primary target and the primary phase of an attack. How? So, how many of you type really fast in your keyboards? How many of you type? Yeah, I do. Okay. So what happens is, by mistake, For Gmail, what's the spelling of gmail.com? Sometimes your spelling senses has to come there. Your gmail.com, gmail.com, right? What if I misplace one of these words when I type very fast? And still, if instead of gmail, I type gimail, and it still opens up your Gmail sign-in page, would you suspect it? And with the green lock. How many of you notice the green lock when you make transactions? A green symbol? Can anybody say what's a green symbol about? Sorry? Secure, right. Okay, I'm proving you all wrong right now. No, we are not secure. Okay? It's actually secure, you're correct. So, what happens is, so when you see that green lock sign there, that gives you a sense of trust and saying that your transaction is actually safe. Well, what happens here is, this concept is called as typosquatting. Typosquatting is nothing but we pay a price when we type a domain name very fast. Attackers, what they do is, they do a lot of combinations for these domain names. If there's a good domain name that exists, they play around and replace these domain names and register the domains under their name and host similar content pages. Now, if I have a gmail.com page and if I do a typosquatting, if I type it by mistake, and there's a Gmail phishing page, that means see a similar page like Gmail, would you enter it or not? Yes. Who's that? Yes. Awesome. Why would you enter it? Sorry? Okay, just because you got what you want, but you would not see what's there in the content or not, right? Okay. This happens really with based on trust, because if you see the green symbol and you see the same thing, then you are actually doomed. So that's the whole bottom line of it. What happens here is, that green symbol is also being tampered now. That's called as an SSL certificate, which means whatever transaction I am doing, only me and the server can actually know. It's all encrypted, gibberish, little HT33, what some words are there, because you cannot decrypt the whole thing. So here what happened was, a famous incident actually happened. There was a company, what they did was, they started saying that the world should start communicating the encrypted way. And they started giving these free certificates. All these attackers started buying these free certificates and attached these free certificates to their bad domains. Thus, when this mistyping, typosquatting happened, they all got fooled and duped. You think we're safe? Well, we are not. So always have an extra pair of eyes when you type your stuff. Well, now I'm going to get in the Gyan mode, just give you advice saying that be careful what you type with. Take your time, don't be in a hurry, and just type it. So these are the three things. Okay, I play a lot of games, to be honest, a lot of games. Okay, question time. Let me ask this question. What if, what's the famous, okay, say we watch a famous movie, very famous movie, okay? Or a TV series that we watch. You've been following it for years. I mean, every year it comes only 10 episodes, for instance. Or how many of you watch these free cricket matches in colleges when you're not allowed to? Well, I used to watch. How many of you used to watch it? There are a lot of sites, right, that gives you a lot of redirects and ads. What really happens here is they're trying to lure you into this trap, which is anxiety. Anxiety. Emotion is one thing, anxiety is. I gotta watch this match. I wanna see either Kohli score a century or India gonna trash South Africa. I wanna do that. Now what happens here? You're in a hurry, correct? Okay. And you have a plethora of WhatsApp group where you want to update saying wicket fell, this guy scores century, and they all say awesome. What happens here is, now you go to the site and click the site. The site says, how many of you seen this? Your Flash player is outdated. Please update your Flash. How many of you seen this? Whoa, now you see a lot of hands. Okay, everybody's awake. Nice. Okay, cool. Oh, what's the problem? What would you do? You or say there's a celebrity news. Oh, this is what sells most of the times. This celebrity got married to this celebrity. Click here to find out. Then there's a video there. There's an original footage. Breaking news. How many of you see this breaking news everywhere? Breaking news, breaking news. iPhone design leaked, breaking news. So when you click on it, now it lures you to the trap. It says, click here to allow this Flash content. Would you allow or disallow here? Yes, right? Allow it. The problem starts here. I'll tell you why. We are very smart people at times. What we do is, 3 years before we were downloaded a browser, okay? And we are very smart enough to watch only these type of videos in that browser. One fine day this happens and you open that browser again and you do it because you've not updated anything. And this, in a very simple term, what does is, when you do an allow, it's outdated, it drops a malicious piece of code, which you will not even know. It'll steal your bank credentials, it'll steal your passwords. This typically happens with games and with children, because when children play all these free games, what happens is, they're in a hurry, they want to play these games. It says next, 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 next. How many of you read your terms and conditions? Software installation, how many of you read the terms and conditions? Next, 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 finished, right? Okay, the same thing happens here. Nobody wants to read, okay? So when this happens is, they will not feel a difference, but it will make your computer to send out a lot of spam mails, or it will send out mails to different countries saying that you are an attacker without your knowledge. So this is the reality that we are in today. And without your knowledge, it will steal your passwords every week. And then what happens? These kids go to school and it says, dude, you know what? My computer is really slow. Then you have another genius kid in that gang. That kid says, I know there's a virus in your computer. Download this free software. It'll remove all the virus. The kid goes back and downloads that software, which itself is a virus. Okay? So the kid downloads it and he calls up the kid and said, you know what, dude, the computer is super fast now and it steals an extra lot of information again. If you don't know something, do not install. When you see these things in the screen saying, how many of you have seen this? Your computer has been affected by virus. Click here to remove it. Okay. I think all of you guys are watching some content which is free content or free ad sites, I guess. Yeah. Welcome to the world. So careful with these things when we do it. Okay. So I wanted to do this. So how smart are attackers? So when I divided these phases of attacks, I started to understand the whole pacing of it. Now do you see the timeline? I become a superhero now. Yeah, I'm a cool researcher. I know how security works. Now reality hits me. I see these cases at work every day. This is one case where sometimes a case comes and says, so there are people who come to me and say that I clicked on something and it locked my computer. Wow, okay. Now these are things that we need to do a lot of digging and investigation. What is that? Now basically, this is because, I'll tell you the whole, so when we are researchers, our only job is not to find the attack, but to see the history of how the attack would have happened. So this is one such case that I decided to just dig in deep and find out how it happens. Do you see there's something called as invoice.com, okay? The basic agenda behind this attack was, say, I just look really smart. Okay, not now, I just generally look really smart, wear a coolers, walk into this reception of a manufacturing company and said, you know what, hi, I'm coming from such and such company. Well, I'm just looking for, I just speak spot on accent English, okay? You know what, I'm really looking for something. We do need to do a lot of orders for a company, 1,000 pieces per week we want to do. Do you have a contact number? And the receptionist hands over a visiting card to you, okay? In most of these small scale companies, be it sticker manufacturing companies or small firms, okay, I would take a live example of these two people who just presented, they have their own companies. I go to the companies and say, hey guys, hi, I'm Shyam. I just want to give an order for like 20,000 toys. And I'm a really advocate of plastic. I hate these plastic things, right? So I want to buy your product. So the receptionist hands over a card to me. Technically, in these companies, when they do these small-scale manufacturing industries, they have an email ID that is a common email ID to the receptionist. The receptionist actually handles all the mails. Am I correct or not here? Perfect? Okay. I think we're playing the game now neatly. Yeah. Now I draft an email saying, as per discussion on this such and such day, please find the quote. So the discussion was with you. So the receptionist thinks that we have actually placed the order already. Please find the invoice for the 1,500 toys I placed for this week and the code for the next 50,000 toys that I'm going to give. Would you open it or not? You would not open it, but on the real scenario, somebody would open it or not. The receptionist opens by mistake. The receptionist wants to see it and send an email to you by mistake. Would she open it or not? Open it? Congratulations, your computer has been encrypted, all your data is stolen. So this is called as a ransomware attack. What happened here is, probably the company that is running this computer, this receptionist, is having an old Windows 7 precautionary turned off updates computer and a fake Windows 7. When they opened this, that piece of code, what it did is, it found out where's the flaw and just put a password on top of all your files. You cannot guess that password. It encrypts all your data. And you have to pay me money to get back your data. I don't care if, so the problem today in the modern world is people panic if their photos are lost. Oh my God, all my 10 years anniversary pics are gone. So they pay back money and they get it. This is where the problem starts. Think before you click. Did you see the intelligence aspect of things here? I analyzed the situation. I saw the entry point. I sent an email. Boom, I'm in. So this is, okay, if you're very careful with clicking, no dialing to, okay? So this targets happen for people who are a little bit elderly people, have their kids in the US. And something comes like this, saying that your computer has been, this is scareware, basically I'm panicking you. If you call to this number, they'll talk really very spot on English, and they'll ask you to deposit $100 in their account so that this will go. Unfortunately, if you restart your computer, this won't come back again. That's the trick. So you got duped and fooled now again. Banking Trojans. This is the major pattern today. So every time when you see is these two types of attacks, now this is the third thing is the banking Trojan. Same way it comes in as an email and steals all your banking related info. This has been on a rise. So we did a research on this and I cracked a case recently where it came as a Christmas greeting card malware. It sent Merry Christmas greeting card from some legit account from the US. When you opened it, it is Merry Christmas for your computer. Yeah, it stole all your data, all your credit cards. So we cracked the case. If you see, the logic behind all these crimes is same. I send you an email and you click on that. I either steal your data or I either put a password on it or I'll just dump your data. The logic is same here. Be it if you play games, that's the same thing. So the logic is same. What's the bottom line of all these things? Human beings, right? You might have $1 billion enterprise security in your company, but you press a button, it's all is there in the click of your hands. So the logic is the same as I said, and the crime pattern varies. So the next person who wants to commit the same crime would change a little bit of the logic. Instead of stealing your banking Trojans, he'll steal your other data, and it goes like other data and goes on and on. Okay. This is the bunch of self-infections that I've done to myself, to my computer, because I always feel that this is not a profession, it's social responsibility. There are people fighting for a lot of things today, be it today's, if you see what I see in today's talk, there are a lot of people fighting for a lot of things in the environment or for human rights or for educating people. Well, this is my home, okay? I wanted to be a superhero. Well, I am now. I don't have a suit. I don't have a cape. Well, I don't want this suit too, but I want this internet a better place for us to serve, because our kids, our future is going to learn from this. There are a lot of people who are using it for really good purpose, and there are a lot of malicious actors who are not allowing it to do it. Well, I stand up here because I want to be the Batman. Yes, I am the Batman in my circuit where I stand up against such crimes. Like, how it goes is, if I start educating 100 people, well, the 100 becomes 300, the 300 becomes 500, awareness kicks in. This is a profession that we people need. This is an interesting place where you can think and do a lot of things. We need people to do this. So we self-infect ourselves most of the times and figure out and find out, immediately write a blog post for people to reach out. This was always a maze for people. People felt that, oh, security is something big, hacking, I don't understand. That's why I took the blog by someone, started writing called as Batman with security. I put Batman as a detective and started putting stuff very easy for people to understand. So this is it. We all have a social responsibility, guys. I have stood up already without a cape. But the secret ingredient that I always thought was being a superhero. You are the secret ingredient here, guys. It's teeny tiny somewhere here. When you put into a different, in a situation where, well, you have to save the world, you stand up. You stand up against these crimes. When you meet somebody, we're all technology people. When we meet somebody, try to explain these things in a simple manner to them. Educate your children. Do not give them the curfew of not to play games. Play games. But tell them how bad this is for them. Educate children, because children can pass on information like wildfire. Okay? Tell the children that, you know what, how this is, this is like the Spider-Man who jumps inside it, the Trojan comes inside your computer like that. Then you understand. Put that to the way that they understand. If you see an elderly person next to your house, offer the help saying that, uncle or auntie, do you have a default password in your Wi-Fi? I can help you with that. And tell them that do not click anything, uncle or auntie, if you're not sure of. They might call you from the bank saying that your password has expired, do not give your debit card details. Educate. We are here to spread the word. Change begins with us, yes. I have stood up in Gotham to fight the crimes, to catch the bad guys in the internet. I promise that I would do it for the next how many years I can. But I want people like you to join me and do this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for giving this opportunity.